Third question from D Elliott _10. How come every pitcher leaves the Baltimore organization, seems to become a Cy Young caliber pitcher all of a sudden? I assume you're speaking about Kevin Gausman, who went from the Orioles and was terrible, but he also wasn't that good on the Braves. But then he went to the Giants, and now he's elite.
Yep. We gonna get into this? So. My understanding is it is not a matter of these guys coincidentally being unlocked by 5 to 10 different organizations. It was not Gausman being unlocked by San Francisco and Jake Arrieta being unlocked by Chicago when he came over via trade, or even in the bullpen, Pedro Strop being unlocked.
Another one, Josh Hader was an Oriole.
Mm-hmm. Andrew Miller, an Oriole. That my understanding is they have this idea of the way people should be pitching, and that's not really how the game flies now. You know, Josh Hader's delivery and Devin Williams' delivery look totally different. Those are 8th and 9th innings in Milwaukee. Jake Arrieta's delivery and Pedro Strope's delivery should look very different. And Kevin Gausman and Dylan Bundy should not be throwing the same way. So I think diving into the uniqueness and having a very effective pitching coach helps those guys. Think about how much Tyler Glasnow has improved and progressed under Kyle Snyder in Tampa, or even Luis Patino, or Shane McClanahan. Kyle Snyder is one of the best pitching coaches in Major League Baseball, along with Ethan Katz with the White Sox. And look what he did to Carlos Rodon. He took a $3 million prove-it deal after being non-tendered, and he turned it into at least $120 million this offseason.
And he's doing it again with Dylan Cease.
That's what good pitching coaches can do. And my understanding is the Orioles just haven't really had a good organizational pitching philosophy or a good pitching coach in a really long time.
Think about this. When I look at the top pitching prospect in baseball, my two are Grayson Rodriguez of the Orioles and Shane Baz of the Tampa Bay Rays.
One of them is going to be dealing with Kyle Snyder. One of them will not be.
Exactly. That will matter. Whether or not you think that Grayson is actually a better pitcher than Shane Baz, it might not even matter, because there's a greater chance that the Orioles not screw up Grayson, but don't unlock him to his full capabilities, while the Rays, they're going to get every single droplet of Shane Baz. And if they're on at least a similar plane, I will 100 times out of 100 times side with the Rays guy. Whether or not it's even fair to the argument, that's just where my mind is always going to go.
Yeah. I think they're starting to let their arms get a little bit more unique. And we have really only seen it with one, John Means. Who else is there to really look at and say, yeah, that's a good standard for Orioles pitching?
Okay, so I have something to say about John Means. Everyone's on John Means. Sticky stuff. I get it. We called him emerging ace. Everyone was all like, Peter, you're an idiot. Fair enough. You know what? Criticism.
Shit, I thought he was one too.
John Means under a 3.5 ERA. Still.
Yep.
So, not saying I'm right. Obviously not an emerging ace, because that's idiotic. But he's still a good pitcher.
Yeah, Danny Duffy, still an emerging ace, though.
Yeah, he's on the IL. That was even worse.